Hello and welcome to the installation video for famstack. I decided to create a video tutorial for the installation of the stack so you can get started easily and see what steps are required to get you up and running with the stack. So what do we need? Obviously you need a Mac machine at home, and it doesn't matter if it's a Mac Studio, Mac Mini, or even a MacBook. You need at least 16 gigabytes of unified memory to get started with the AI functionality, which is included in the stack. So the real fun starts with 32 gigabytes, because then we are able to run decent models. You can run the stack without AI at all, but the whole idea of famstack is to add more AI or take advantage of being able to run local AI models at home, which is a great thing to have and a great opportunity to learn things and tinker around with the technology we have now at home, which is quite incredible. Let's get started with the installation. All we have to do is to clone the repository. I will do that right now into a fresh directory I created on the Mac. And I'm using a server directory here. I just created my home directory. I git clone the famstack repository there, cd into famstack, and all we have to do is to start the installer by using the stack script, which we are going to use. The stack script starts the installer. It does some prerequisite checks, like whether Homebrew is installed or a Docker engine is running. When you don't have that, it gives you hints on how to install it and provides you the links, or does it for you. We start with typing in the family name. We use the Simpson family for this example here. Whom, of course, Marge, Lisa, and Bart. Maggie does not need accounts yet. And then we get an introduction on what is going to happen. So the family members we just typed in are used to create accounts for the services. We also create a stack admin for every service we are booting. And the first step is to boot up the messages stacklet, which is basically the core of famstack. The whole idea is that we are able to operate the stack and the server by using our mobile phone, and for that we are installing a messaging system, which is like a WhatsApp you can use at home and communicate with the server. You get notifications, and you can also use it as a family chat. And it's the main interaction system or interaction app to interact with famstack. So it's up and running already. We can also check it with the stack command again. There we can see that we have two stacklets running now, which is the core, providing some core services on the host, and the messages stacklet. Let's have a look at the messages stacklet. The information required to get started are presented after the successful installation of the stacklet. We get the link and the username and password you can use to log in to this to the service. You can shift click on it and go to the website. This warning here, there's no way to get rid of that. We just have to press continue anyway. Everything still works. And we can sign in with the credentials provided. What we can see here now is that our family has now a family room with 2 messages already. We have a server room. As we can see, only admins are allowed in this room. So we have the stack admin, which is a default admin for all services we are running, and Homer, which is the first user we added to the family. members, and the first family member is basically the admin account or gets the admin role. And from here we can check the server status again without typo, and we see that core and messages are running. Before we continue with the installation of the document management system, let's try to connect our mobile phone to the stack so we can operate the server and yeah, everything from the phone. For that, let's switch over to the phone. We close that for now and move that away. And all you have to do is to download the Element-ngx app from the Play Store or the Apple Store. And in Element-ngx, we can sign in manually and change the account provider. And we have to choose other and type in our HTTP URL of the service we just started, which is the IP address which is shown here. And the port is 42031 in this case. 31 is the messaging backend. So let's try that. And it's super important to include the HTTP part for the IP address, because otherwise the app won't connect and default to HTTPS, but we don't have an HTTPS connection here in our local network yet. So we can sign in with our credentials again. And now we need to confirm the identity, which is part of the Element web application. So we need to go back to the Element web application. I shouldn't have closed it. Okay, here we are. And we already see that there's a new login. It asks for the new login. We just confirm. And we start the verification process on the mobile phone. Verify. Emojis do match. They match. Oh, okay, I have to click it here as well. Device verified. Yeah, well, and that's it. And now we are online with our mobile phone and connected to our Mac server. Now we can join the server room here as well. Just check if it works. We just type stack autocomplete status again and see, yeah, it works like in the web application. And there are native applications for desktops as well, so you don't have to use the web application. You can just download the native applications for all of your devices, and you can operate and access basically the chat from everywhere, like with WhatsApp. And now we are going to start the next service, which is the document management service here. Just needs to be docs. Oh no, it's stack up docs. Yeah, maybe I should add a alias for that. Now we have to wait a couple of minutes until the next service is started. And here we go. We get the notification documents is live. So now we have a new documents room here, as you can see, with a welcome message. So before we start dropping documents into the documents room and let archivists take care of it, we boot up the AI Stacklet, because only then we get all the useful features like categorizing our documents and auto-archiving them in a useful way. And for that, we go back to the console, because the AI Stacklet needs to be started from the terminal. And we just type in stack up AI. We set up OMLX, or let famstack run OMLX via brew. In case you have an own OpenAI compatible backend, you can type in no here, and then you can provide your OpenAI compatible endpoint, which famstack is going to use then. So the installation here takes a while because we need to download a lot of stuff like OMLX, which is the engine to run AI models, and the AI models themselves. What we install in addition to the chat model is text to speech and speech to text. We use that, for example, to transcribe your voice messages in the Matrix chat. So whenever you send a voice message to a room, we are able to transcribe locally on our Mac, and that's quite useful if you want to, for example, record a voice diary. You just speak your messages when you are on a trip with the kids. You can just speak on the way and let them speak some messages, and you get them transcribed when you're at home. So that's quite useful. And what I plan in one of the upcoming releases is to also take advantage of the speech output, so that our Mac can talk to us, and we can essentially build an voice capable assistant or something like that. So this is the groundwork for future features.
Hello Homer, welcome to famstack. Congratulations, your AI is ready to serve. Everything you're hearing right now is running on your Mac. No cloud, no servers, no subscriptions. Just your machine speaking for itself. Enjoy the rest of your famstack journey. Hello Homer, it's so nice to meet you on this lovely Friday evening at 1629. I am famstack, your personal family server, and I am truly excited to help you get started today.
So that was the integration test. What we tested here was the whole pipeline, sending out a request to the local LLM, receiving the response, sending it to our text-to-speech. So let's check the stack again. Everything is online. The AI stack is online as well. And now we can head over again to our documents room in the messaging app. We can now simply drop images or PDFs or even links pointing to PDFs into the documents room, and Archivist will automatically categorize, tag, and archive the documents for us. So let's try if it works. We can simply select images, for example, images of documents or images of receipts, and Archivist is taking care of that. It analyzes the image, extracts the text, digitizes it, and it tries to create a proper formatted document out of it. We try to extract a summary and tags for the document so that we can easily find them again in future. The backend to store the documents is Paperless, and Paperless is like a well-established software in the open source world to archive documents. and we get the paperless link, so we can access paperless to get the original document, or to get access to the original document. And there we can also find like what was filed for the document, like the tags we used, the persons that are related to that document, which get automatically assigned, the summary of the document. And the great thing about paperless here is famstack uses the notes feature of paperless to produce or to store the summary, and the summary is full text searchable. So we can type in, like for example, driver's license here again, and paperless will return us the driver's license for that search term. But not only that, we can also like type in evergreen, because that is part of the extracted summary of the document, and stored as a note. And as the note is full text indexed, we can basically search for all documents, and paperless will return us the links on our mobile phone. And this is quite handy, because the more we archive and use the system, the more knowledge we can extract, and the less you have to search for important information for you and your family members. And we can not only archive images, but we can also drop just existing documents or PDFs. Like for example, a sample PDF, like an invoice here, and they get processed as well. There's also basic support for links. So if you drop in PDF links, for example, they get archived. And I'm currently working on producing proper markdown documents out of the extracted text, because the OCR text from paperless itself can be quite scrambled. And what we really want to have is like a properly formatted markdown document that is kind of similar to what the original document does look like. So as we see, like we get an summary of the document here with the facts extracted. And when we have a look into the notes here again, which is the full text indexed, we get the facts like the total amount, the invoice number.
Reached the end of the first video tutorial
for the invoice number here,
and get you started with
in our chat again. Just in case you want to start over, because sometimes it's just useful to try out something, see how it works, and then start over with a clean state to bring it into production. There is an stack uninstall command on the CLI, so you can start with a clean state easily by running uninstall and then starting over again. I hope you found that useful, and I hope that the documents archiving feature is not only useful for me, but for other people as well. And just in case you run into issues or need to read something, there's also a user guide in the GitHub repository. So you can check it out, and in case if you run into any issues, get stuck, or for whatever reason, jump into our Discord, or just open an GitHub issue. The Discord channel would be great if we could start a small community that can help each other with the stack and share ideas and stuff like that. There's so much room for improvements and opportunities with the whole stack. Just an incredible piece of technology, running local LLMs and trying to get use of it. Bye bye, see you next time, and see you on the Discord channel.